And welcome to the Howard Eskin Show. And there's so many things to talk about today. Obviously, the situation in football uh, with the Dallas Cowboys, and I actually think they're a better team now than they were a few days ago. Marc Lawrence will join us shortly to take a look at the weekend football. Next week we have both college and pro football. Obviously, the Eagles game coming up in less than a week. Take a look at that. We'll take a look at the Phillies, 19 runs and 2 runs. That's typical of a lineup that I'm not a big fan of. I've been saying this for a while. Kyle Schwarber's the best player on that baseball team. And honestly, it's not close. And today is my 30 it's the 39th anniversary of the first show on then 610 WIP. The people now there don't want any part of their history. They don't want to acknowledge any part of their history. And that's sad because your history is what makes you great. But whatever. I mean, they're going in the wrong path. But Joe, put that picture up again, and I'm going to mention some of the pictures in there. Obviously, if you start on the left-hand corner there, you got John Bon Jovi, then obviously Andy Reid, going down Billy Cunningham. I've been on magazine covers, and that's nice. And then you go to Michael Jordan, who I caddied for. Obviously, a graphic when I was doing afternoons at 610 WIP. But today, do you believe that? The 39th anniversary of the first show ever on WIP. And I was fortunate enough to do it. Then you got one of the shows with Ted Williams and Steve Carlton. Then Larry Holmes, former heavyweight champ. I forget how to pronounce Joe's name. He's an actor, Joe Pantaleone, I think, or Pantalone, whatever. People know who he is, who are a fan of his. Then Muhammad Ali. There's so many magazine covers and other things, and I've had the great opportunity to get to know and meet Wayne Gretzky, Willie Mays, Hulk Hogan, Dick Vermeil locally. I was fortunate enough to be at his Hall of Fame. It's all so good, but 39 years, there's a lot packed into 39 years since the first show, and still going strong, but obviously doing my own thing for you, which there was freedom years ago. There's less freedom now on the radio, and it's sports talk radio is really become boring. That's kind of a problem as well. But before we get into that, let me mention, and I always want to mention, my presenting sponsor, who is really a loyal guy, and all these people that support me, uh, they are partners. And Stillwell Financial Advisors, really, they really know their stuff. They know what they're doing. And Jeff Stillwell really can help you with the wealth you have to make sure that you have that wealth in the future. Any wealth that you may have, Jeff Stillwell can help you. And I know he can help you because I've talked to him about so many different things. It's been great. 732 343 0813. That's 732-343-0813. But Jeff I know he can help you because he's helped a lot of other people and worked with a lot of other people. Uh, and I'll mention him. Uh, and I don't know if he's going to get reprimanded by his company. Joe Giglio said, "Happy anniversary." Yeah, I will tell you what else he wrote. But you know what? I'm glad I could start the ball rolling, and it's gone on from there. And it reached a plateau, and unfortunately, it's kind of slid down a little bit. But whatever, we'll talk about that. If people have memories of things that they remember that I've done, if you want to kind of chime in with what's been good about Sports Talk Radio, what's not been good, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So many people on the message board, and you can chime in by clicking into the link, and we'll talk about it. JC Sports, Edward Zarnecki, Michael Grasso, Dale Weller. Thanks for all your comments. Eugene O'Neill. Thanks. A lot of people jumping in this morning, and that is a really, really, really good thing that people are jumping on board. Jason Sklar's happy anniversary. Yeah, can you believe that? 1986. It's crazy. So, and also today, obviously, we'll talk about the Eagles with the first game coming up. I'll explain to you why I think the Cowboys are better, but the Eagles are still going to win the game. And there's so many other things, and we'll get to the Phillies. We'll have some comments from Jerry Jones, who, at least he's honest. He doesn't always say the right things, but at least he's honest. At least he's honest. All right. I also want to tell you about my other partners on this fine show. Even though Charles Barkley told me the other day, and we played it the other day, he thinks I should change the name. If people have a new name, it just identifies what the show is. But right now, let me tell you about Audi Westchester. You can lease a new 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron for $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron for $399 a month. You'll need $5,295 down for the Q6 and $4,156 down for the Q4, plus taxes and registration fees. Stop by Audi Westchester. You'll have fun. It's fun looking at cars. It's fun looking at new cars, whether they be pre-owned, great selection there, or the new cars. The electric cars are on sale. There's a tax credit, and none of this stuff will last long. 1421 Wilmington Pike, special offer. Get in on it. 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron for $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron for $399 a month. Check it out, AudiWestchester.com. And you want to take care of your property. You want to make it look nice, whether you want to build a pool or not. Look at what Piazza Property Pros can transform your property into. See, this is because they know what they're doing. They make it look, whether it's an in-ground pool, whether it's landscaping, whether it's whatever it is, excavation, making your home look beautiful. Piazza Property Pros, 610-566-2608. Remember, 25 years of experience. They don't subcontract, so it's all really good. Give them a call. Check and see what works within your budget. 610-566-2608. You can schedule a free consultation or check them out on piazzaoutdoor.com. All right. I noticed we have a lot of people. Did a lot of people chime in, right, Joe? Do we have somebody ready to jump on before we get to Marc Lawrence? Okay, let's go to George.
King.
George, hey, what's happening, brother?
Congrats, brother.
Thanks.
I remember that first show. I'll even show my age when I was 13 and 14 back in 1979 and 80 when you did evening shows at WWDB.
Yeah, I did Sports Talk before that on FM.
Yeah, yep. And you got me when I talked to you. I came to the studio one time as a prize when you were at the other station. I told you my aspirations of getting into broadcasting. I got into it and did CB West football for about 10 years, had my own show.
George, I'm going to ask you, okay, you remember back when Sports Talk Radio grew, and it grew and it grew and it got better and better, and we had really good, a lot of good people that we work with. What's the difference now in Sports Talk Radio to then in Sports Talk Radio? I'm not going back to 86, but there's plenty of years between, that's 39 years between 86 and now. What do you remember about the good and the not so good?
Everybody did their homework back then. You guys were prepared for the shows. Whether you liked you or not, you came with facts and came with preparation for the programs.
Well,
the guys now, it's like Comedy Central. Okay, they try to be comedians on these sports talk shows. I don't want a comedian. I don't mind talking about stuff outside of sports, but
Mhm.
we're there to listen to sports talk to get away from our everyday lives and stuff like that. You guys were always prepared. It wasn't just you. You just listened to. I'm
Well,
back. Don, remember Don
here's
Henderson?
my philosophy, George. Here was my philosophy. I think you can entertain, which is part of what we do on the air, but I think you can inform with the entertainment. So, if you're good enough, you can do both. And I don't know if enough people know how to do that anymore. Uh,
I think you're
so,
right. I mean, you think about the longevity you had. There's a reason why you had that longevity. Like you or not, I mean, you were the king. Your slot. If you weren't that good or prepared, you wouldn't be in that time slot. Let's be real here.
well, the thing is, it worked on FM. And then when I went and did how that all came about is when I went to Channel 29, hired me as the first anchor to do their 10 o'clock news. And the general manager then at 610 WIP said, "Hey, would you do sports talk in the afternoon? I'm thinking about turning this into an all sports station." His name was Mike Craven. And I said, "Sure," because I only had a 10 o'clock news then. So that's how it all started, August 29th, 1986. And I thank him and I thank everybody that helped me being a part of those shows. I mean, I did afternoon drive on WIP, 610 WIP for 25 years. And believe it or not, September 2nd, 2011, I did the first sports talk show on 94 WIP. It was the first day. It was the Friday before Labor Day.
Lots of
And
firsts for you, man. I was a lot of your rivet shows.
yeah, how
I
about
remember
that?
being at a remote in Center City when Magic Johnson announced that he had the HIV virus. I was there when you were attacked and when Dave Remington helped you out.
Wow.
I believe that was at Cherry Hill.
I
There were
know.
some good times, Howard, and you got a lot of people out there want to attack you, but you know what? You are the man. You put WIP on the map, and you are a legend in Philadelphia. In my
I
eyes, you got to be
appreciate
involved.
I appreciate it, George. Say thanks for jumping on.
Have a good one, man.
All right, take care. All right, do we have somebody else that we can have jump in here? Let me read a comment. Amen, Howard. Keith Day, too many yuppies that are now trying to do crossover shows on WIP, or whatever it's called. Station is already a ship sinking. It's sad. I don't want to see it that way because it's a great part of history, uh, former history. The only thing decent on the station now are the Phillies and the Eagles. Obviously, if they didn't have the Phillies and Eagles, they'd struggle a little bit. But it is what it is. There's too many. Here's the problem. The business model doesn't support radio anymore. That's one of the problems. Uh, Too many commercials in an hour, over 16 minutes, and they get greedy by trying to put more in during football season because more people listen during football season because of the Eagles. That's over 17% of the hour consists of commercials. That's a tune out. Now, these numbers are put forth by, there was a story on Barrett Media, which is a national media service. Dr. Edward Cohen wrote the story, who's written for him for years. It's not, it's just not a good thing anymore. And it's kind of sad the way those things have happened. Joe, do we have somebody else on the line here? Okay. Um, you know what? I'm going to make Cowboy Jim wait because, and there's a guy named Paul. I'm going to make Cowboy Jim wait because it's the same garbage that he rolls out. But I'll take his garbage, but I'm going to wait for people to hear his garbage. So, what'd you say? There was Paul up on the line there. Uh, let's go to Paul. Uh, hey, Paul, what's up?
Hey, Howard, longtime listener.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm actually podcasting you from Honolulu, Hawaii today.
Wow. So what time is it now? It's a little after. It's 8:16 here on the East Coast. What time is it there in Hawaii?
2:15 in the morning.
So you're 2:15 in the morning. You jumped in to be part of this show.
Well, I want to hear what Marc Lawrence had to say and what you have to say.
Yeah, he's going to come on in minutes. So just yeah. So what do you remember about sports? How can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, 48.
Okay. So what do you remember about the former days of whether it's me or WIP?
Well, in the beginning, I think it was knowledgeable sports people, and I have to say now, other than Jody Mack and the morning show, most days it's basically unlistenable.
Uh, 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 yeah, it's kind of, well, it's changed. There's no question it's changed. Uh, and it's different, and I don't know that it's good. Uh, that's the reality. I don't know that it's good. Um, um, so it's interesting. So, do you live in Honolulu?
No, I'm just out here on vacation. I actually live
Oh,
in
wow.
I live in Clearwater Beach, Florida now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, nothing wrong with that either. So you get to see the Phillies in spring training.
Yeah, we do.
You're originally from Philadelphia, correct?
Um, Avalon and Haddonfield, New Jersey. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Eagles record this year. What do you think? Because I know
12 and
you.
5.
I think 11 is a better number. See, the over under is 11 and a half. I think because the schedule's so tough, it is so tough that's part of the issue. It's just, I think the second game's tough, although I don't think Kansas City's is good. I think there's too many distractions there. But the second game's tough. The third game's tough, but they're playing in Philadelphia against the Rams. Then the fourth game is, as you see, is at Tampa, and Todd Bowles always has a great defense for Tampa against the Eagles. So I think they could be 2-2 again this year. The Giants will be tougher. I think they actually may split against the Giants. They'll win here, obviously, but it's tough at Buffalo at the end of the year. That's tough. Buffalo's going to need the game. There's some real at the Chargers. Chargers are going to be a good team as long as everybody has to stay healthy. But it really is kind of an interesting. It's a tough schedule. It's really a tough schedule. But 12 wins is. I think they're the best team in the division, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the division. I think Washington's good. I think that the Cowboys are probably the worst team in the division. When it comes down to it at the end. But anyway, I guess you're going to go back to sleep now that you've joined in the show.
Well, we have to watch Lee Corso in a 45 minute slash show on ESPN Game Day.
Oh, that's right, because you're living on East Coast time out there in Hawaii. Wow. All right. Well, hey, thanks for jumping in, Paul. Thanks for jumping in from Hawaii.
Sure.
Take care. Take care. Cool. Had somebody from Hawaii. All right. Do we want to take Cowboy Jim? I guess we do. All right. Yeah. Hey, loser. What's up?
Wow. First, you put two people on that kiss your ass, but I will congratulate you. 39 years. Congratulations. I do. Individual. You really put it out. So I know these people don't know. I've seen you in action. You're a hard worker. Okay. Even though I had to carry your bags up the stairs, but congratulations.
Well, you need to carry more than my bags. You need to carry a lot of bags.
Hey, listen, by the way, that $50 gift card you give for Chicky and Pete's. Well, when you go to the link, you can get fries and a bottle of water, and you'll get 2 cents back, and that's about it. So that's my 2 cents.
I know. I tell you, that's what Aramark has done to the prices at the local sports entities is disgusting. I'll say it's disgraceful and disgusting. It's like close to $25 for crab fries. I mean, it's just a bottle of water is $7.50 or $8. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I mean, there's a point where you can still make money and not rip off the people. and that's just ripping off the people. That's sad, because if you bring a couple of kids, you bring 4 to a, it's awful. It's
But
awful.
the line stretches for like 100 yards. They're still
Well,
buying
because
it.
people are hungry. People are hungry.
Right.
So people are hungry. Somebody put up and I'll say this: will the Eagles win Game 1? Do the Eagles win at Green Bay? No, I thought that was a loss at Green Bay anyway. But Green Bay's a better team with Micah Parsons than the Cowboys are with
Well,
Micah Parsons.
all right, we'll get into that.
I think the Cowboys are a better team now. Jerry Jones actually made some good decisions.
But you just said they're worse. You just told us 5 minutes ago that they're going to be worse. So which is it?
No, I didn't say they're going to be worse. I think the Giants are going to be better. I didn't think they're going to
No.
be worse. No, I said, if you listen to me, wait a minute.
I did listen to you.
No, you didn't. I said the Cowboys are better without Micah Parsons. They are better because all he cared about was sacks, and he couldn't stop the run. The Eagles just made him look silly when he played against the Eagles. You got to stop the run as well. And with the Eagles, if you don't stop the run with Saquon Barkley, that's why the Cowboys didn't really have a good chance against the Eagles. Micah Parsons is, and it's just, I mean, it's a joke to pay an edge rusher $47 million a year. And I'm going to read some comments by Micah Parsons, who I think is a fraud. Hey, listen, is he a talented player? Yeah, he's talented. Is he as great as he tells you he is? No, he's not. I mean, he said he was a Cowboys fan when he was growing up. I think that's a bold-faced lie. I think that's a bold-faced lie when he said he was a Cowboys fan.
All right, but
he also said, I never wanted this chapter to end, but not everything was in my control. Well, I mean, the Cowboys offered you $41 million a year, which I was hoping the Cowboys would sign him, because if they signed him, then they'd screw up their whole salary cap again and not be able to help and fix their team.
But Jerry Jones is correct. A lot of you don't remember this, but last season, the Cowboys got blown out in the first 5 games. Home games, they got blown out because they couldn't stop the run. And who was part of that? Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons gets sacks at the end of the games. You know, Micah Parsons, he's double teamed most of the time. But
wait a minute, you said so many great things about Micah Parsons before. What's changed?
I'm happy he's gone. He was not good in the locker room. I'm glad that he's gone. Okay. And Jerry Jones is correct. They have to stop the run, and they weren't doing that. So goodbye. It's Green Bay's problem right now. It's Green Bay's problem. So I'm fine with it. Now, and for the guy that they got, you know, he's 30 years old. He's an all-pro. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that. But the Cowboys still can win the East. And as for sports radio,
and how are they going to do that? How are they going to do that?
Well, they're going to surprise you. They're just going to surprise you.
Well, they would surprise. They would shock me if they win the East.
Look at the offense. They got 2 great receivers.
They still have Dak Prescott.
Yes, and as long as he stays healthy, they can win 11 or 12 games.
I'm telling you, he's not as good as you think he is.
He's
a fraud.
Look how he's very successful against NFC East teams. Very successful against the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders. Very successful.
Well, wait
he's got a better receiver.
But the NFC East for years was not that good.
Well, trust me. The Cowboys.
How can you say something so stupid?
It's not stupid. I'm just saying they have a great offense. They're going to stop the run, and they will beat the Eagles. They're going to not by a lot. They're not going to beat the Eagles by a lot because the Eagles always start out the season slow. You know that. You know that as well as I do. The Eagles start out slow in the first 4 games, and the Cowboys always start out strong. You know that. You've witnessed it for the last 39 years. You know, so.
Well, I don't know. They didn't start off strong last year. They were 2-2.
They'll be fine.
Whoa. See, you make comments talking out of your rear end. You talk out of your rear end. I'm telling you.
What do you
close it up, and you know what comes out of your rear end. And with you, it's more than that.
I do want to say something about sports radio. I do want to say you are right. Commercials at the top of the hour, at the quarter after the hour, at the bottom of the hour. There's just commercials the whole time.
There's too many spot sets on Sports Talk Radio now, and then honestly, they become greedy. WIP becomes greedy by adding more because it's football season. And it doesn't work. It just turns off people. But it's all about revenue. It's not about making the station better. And you can mix both. But and that's why podcasts they're the media of the future. The traditional radio, terrestrial radio, just doesn't work anymore. People listen to podcasts. It's the new media. How many people walk down the street and say, go to 30 people. Hey, do you listen to radio anymore when you get in the car? No, I hook up my phone to my car and I listen to podcasts. That's what you do, regardless of what it is. And it's kind of sad because that was my history. And it was a really good history. Nonetheless, there's just too many commercials, and then and it's poor management at the station now.
And I got one more thing. One more thing I have to say to you. Okay, I mean, you raised 5 great kids, but one of them I have a problem with, and that would be Spike. He doesn't watch college. He doesn't watch college football. What did you do to that man? How can he not watch college football?
I can't answer. All right, here, let me just say. You're done. The king has spoken.
Bye, King. Bye, King.
Right,
congratulations on 39 years. Congratulations.
All right.
Bye, Dope.
All right. Thank you, nitwit. All right. Let's. The weekend starts with. Well, these weekends are always great with college football, and to help us and to help you, let's bring Marc Lawrence in. To take a look at the college football. How are you, Marc?
Hey, good morning, Howard. I'm just terrific. How are you doing?
Great. Another day in paradise. And this is the first, I guess it's kind of it's a full weekend, but it's not. When you get deeper into the season, obviously you're going to get better games. But there's still some good games on the card. So if we had to take a look at the card through the weekend, and there's a game on Monday night, and the only reason the game's on Monday night is because Bill Belichick will be the coach of North Carolina on the Monday night game. But before we get to that, tell me who you like.
Well, it is a pretty decent card for a Saturday. We had 44 games overall in college football this week. It's almost what a regular card is.
There's some really great games. There's no question. There's some.
Yes, there are. There's a couple that I really, really like. They're sort of chalky. I'll tell you about those in just a bit. But more to what it is that I do, I look for these dogs that have value. And I'm going to look at 2 17 returning starter teams playing today.
Which is really hard. Isn't that really hard these days with the transfer portal?
It sure is. What you have to do is you have to equate that to what they call returning production rankings. And so you take your returning starters, you take how much time the players in the roster played before, how much time the incoming transfer played. You put that all into a formula. You need an Einstein formula to figure all that out. Okay. But we've got that in our magazine, those returning production rankings. And there are 2 such teams to date, I think, that check the box and fit the bill. First is going to be Hawaii. They're going to take 17 points against Arizona. And one benefit Hawaii has is that they do have a game under their belt. And that's a good thing because they won their football game. If they had played their football game and had that game under their belt and they had lost, I'll tell you completely the opposite. The teams don't show up. They pout. But this is a Hawaii football team that I think is going to make some noise this year. They had a game-winning field goal to win that game last week. They feel really good about themselves. Arizona's still going to carry a little bit of weight from last year and all the good things they did. They had a terrific wide receiver, was drafted in the first round, and he's gone. I think Hawaii will make a game of this, and I like them plus the 17.
I don't even know. Is Arizona in the Pac-12 or Pac? Mark Sanchez was on the other night, and he called it the Pac-2. It's just like
I call it the puny 2, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
They're in the Big 12, Arizona. They
moved. All right.
They made that move.
You never even know anymore. Well, how can Arizona be in the? in that conference. It's ridiculous. But all right, who else do you like?
The other guy I'm going to look at, a small favorite here is Clemson, the Tigers from. They're going to host LSU, and it's ironic. They're both Tigers. Both of their home fields are called Death Valley.
I
There's a
know.
lot of similarities between these two teams, at least that way. But I don't think there will be in this game. What you've got with Clemson here is the team that ranks number one overall in returning production rankings. And I think we might have called this out a little bit earlier when we visited last week or week before, but the teams that do rank number one overall over the past 5 years have been absolutely outstanding all season long. And that's the box that Clemson checks in this particular football game. Then you've got LSU, you got Brian Kelly, who I think is a bit of a fraud. And
Yes, he is.
yeah, and he's exposed by his performance early on in the football season. He's terrible in first games of the year. He's terrible in first road games of the year. And you've got a Clemson team that I think is going to make it to the college football playoff championship game this year. They're stacked and they're loaded, and they don't have to beat a whole lot in the ACC. And I think they'll make their mark in this game. I like Clemson minus the 4.
All right, I'm looking at some of the line move. First of all, let's get Penn State out of the way and that fraud. This guy's playing 3 high school teams this year. It's a disgrace to try to build up his wins. Nevada was, I guess Nevada was Division I for a few years, but to be a 43.5-point favorite is, I mean, you shouldn't even play the game.
No, you shouldn't, and it's more like we're going to try and attract all these people that are addicted and hooked on sugar with candy, and put as much in the bowl as we can to get you to come and bet Nevada. And I can't do that. I can't play Nevada in the football game. But I'm like you. I don't like James Franklin a little bit, but the problem is he is a cripple shooter. He does beat these bad football teams. Yeah, so I'm not going to play the game, obviously, but if I had to put a gun to my head, I'd probably say pull the trigger or lay the 44.
Okay, and one of the reasons is James Franklin, maybe to keep his alumni happy, just always tries to beat the spread. What was it last year? I forget which team it was. He either called a timeout or faked the kneel down to score a touchdown from the 6-yard line up by like 30-some points to cover the number. I mean, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
I recall the game. I recall it. He did just that. He stopped the clock with less than 10 seconds to go. Obviously, a kneel down or a walk-off was the play, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't help himself, and he ended up punching a score in and covered the spread, as you said.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, Alabama, I noticed a line move on Alabama. Only a point, but it's still, when it goes over the 2 scores, you kind of, and I think you do too, you kind of look at, all right, it's like when it's over 7, it's over 3, over football numbers, it's over 14. Do you like Alabama against Florida State? Do you like the move?
Yes, I do. And, Alabama is one of these favorites on the card that I do like this on the card here today. And a couple of reasons. Number one, Kalen DeBoer took over that program last year and won 9 games, and they went absolutely ballistic in Alabama. It wasn't enough. They wanted more, and they're going to get more from him this year. They got a really, really stacked football team. What they are is they're a team that laid an egg in a bowl game last year. They were larger than a 7-point favorite and lost the game outright on the field. These teams really play strong in their first game of the season just to erase that bad memory, if nothing else. And you're not beating much here in Florida State. I could only lay the points with Alabama.
All right. Michigan had all kinds of turmoil, and the NCAA, which is, I don't even know why they exist anymore, because they're a farce, because they don't run the NCAA. The conferences run the NCAA. But Michigan has a new coach, the fines, but it's a big number. And I know, I just don't know how you look at that with their situation. It's tempting to take New Mexico, but how can you take a team, or you tell me, can you take a team getting 34.5 against Michigan?
Well, you've got the new coach actually on the New Mexico side. Sharon Moore has been there with Michigan, although he's going to be suspended here. I believe in games, it might be 3 and 4 because of the Harbaugh ridiculousness and all that crap that happened when he won the national championship. But Moore has to take the brunt for that, which is a shame. But New Mexico, they're a football team that's always been on the lower edge of the tier of Division I or FBS teams. New coach, in the big house at Michigan, I couldn't touch New Mexico here. I'd have to say one way look only, Michigan, or don't play the game.
All right. So now I don't know if the line's telling me something or not. Utah is 5.5, and I know Utah is a good team. UCLA must be down. Would you lay the number with Utah at UCLA?
That's the only side I would look at in the football game. Utah is going to be loaded this year, and they had a bad season last year. Kyle Whittingham is really a great bounce back coach, terrific in the postseason in the bowls, and none of that happened for them last year. And I expect them to get out of the gate strong here. UCLA's got this quarterback that his name, if you pronounce his name phonetically, the way it's spelled, it's Iamaliva. It's not pronounced that way. He's the kid that's transferred like 3 times, and he just takes the biggest money offering he has. Well, he's going to quarterback this program here and probably do a pretty good job. They'll turn the program around at UCLA, but I think Utah is going to be a team to watch this year.
All right. Just to let you know, Mark, there's somebody that sent a message in who's listening from Ireland. So, so
I'm Irish. I like that.
We're people in Ireland. All right. Because the Eagles play on Thursday and we won't have you on until next Saturday, let's take an early look. And it's really not that early because it's less than a week away at the Eagles Cowboys. The line seems to kind of bounce back between 6.5 and 7.5. And I don't know that Micah Parsons' trade is going to. I think the Cowboys are actually better, but that's another story. How do you look at that game?
Well, I can only play the points in the game if I see the 7.5. One, it's a really obviously a great number to take. 2, the Eagles really stuffed the Cowboys last year. They held them to 6 and 7 points in the 2 football games they played. That's meaningful revenge against 2 bitter rivals, if you will. And you got Philadelphia still yet just a little bit full of themselves from the Super Bowl last year. And I'm not talking like an anti-Eagles fan at all. I'm just talking semantics, what the numbers happen to be. I can only play Dallas, and I think they'll want to play a little bit harder just to quiet down, put the lid on that Micah Parsons thing that happened with them, which was a horrible move. But nonetheless, it did happen, and I think Dallas will try to play to overcome that, and I would take the points with the double revenge Cowboys.
All right. Before I tell people how to get a hold of you, Monday night, because it's Belichick coaching, it's a big deal. But the line's telling me something. I know TCU's a good team. You know, people are going to want to play on North Carolina because of the coach. But TCU, to me, it almost looks like that's the side laying points on the road at North Carolina. What do you think? It's 3.5.
Well, the problem with me is this: you know that if Belichick's going to play well or have a good game this year, he's going to be pumped for this football game, the debut game. It's an isolated game, meaning it's the only game on the card on a Monday night. It's going to draw a lot of eyeballs, and it's also what you would call a program maker for North Carolina. If they get this win in their back pocket here, they're going to be formidable this football season here, and all the anti-bad Bill Belichick rhetoric will be put in the rearview mirror. I think North Carolina's going to step up and play a little bit here. If they get blown out, am I going to be surprised? No. But if they win this football game, will I be surprised? No. I think it's a real tough handicapping call, but I only side to North Carolina if I played the game.
All right. So if people want to get in touch with you, it's 800-321-7777, playbooksports.com on the internet. And you still have your publication
or preview guide, or yes. The magazine is still out and available right now. Really chock filled with great information. All the stats I talk about, 256 pages. You can download it on the site at playbooksports.com.
Yeah, and it's they can get Jalen Hurts is on the cover. We're showing that right now, the magazine. And again, it's easy enough to get a hold of you. And one thing that I will mention to you, because I'm sure you were on with me in that year. Today, August 29th, is my 39th anniversary of the first Sports Talk show. Now, I was on Sports Talk before that, and we were on together at an FM station in Philadelphia. But in 1986, I did the first Sports Talk show at then 610 WIP. And I know you were on because I had you on the FM station before that. So today, 39th anniversary at 610 WIP, and I know you were part of my anniversary
Well, Howard,
year.
I would say congratulations to us, but mostly congratulations to you. You've been the voice of Philadelphia with reason, and that's why they call you the king. Congratulations.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Hey, we'll talk to you again next weekend. Have a great week, and can't wait for both college and pro football
Yes.
next week. All right. Thanks, Mark.
All right, be well, Howard. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Marc Lawrence, who will join us every week on Saturdays to take a look at the weekend football is when you have pros and college, and now there's games almost every day. Before we get, there's some comments that Jerry Jones made, and I don't know if we have, and you can click in on the link. The link, if you go to the chat, you can find it. And as I said, we have a listener who's in Ireland right now and listening. So we had a guy check in from Honolulu. We have somebody listening in Ireland. We are worldwide, and that's great. And I want to thank, and reasons for that are our partners on this program, and one of which is Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell, sharp guy and a great guy. Not just sharp, but he's a great guy, and you can help yourself by getting in touch with Stillwell Financial Advisors, 732-343-0813, 732-343-0813. All right, I am going to get into the Eagles and Jerry Jones, and I kind of touched on why I think the Cowboys are a better team now. But the other thing is 39th anniversary, the good and the bad of Sports Talk Radio, the way it exists right now. But before we get to that, let's talk about our partners here, and great people. Audi Westchester. Actually, I'm going to pop over there today. I was over there the other day. It's fun to go in there. It's just fun to look at cars, and the inventory they're getting is great. But right now, lease a new 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron, $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron, $399 a month. Now, $5,295 down for the Q6 and $4,156 down for the Q4, plus taxes and registration fees. You're going to have fun. You're looking at new cars. Who doesn't have fun? Grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks there. They're all new facility, beautiful place, great people. 1421 Wilmington Pike. Don't wait, because this special offer won't last long. 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron for Q6 for $499 a month, or the Q4 for $399 a month. Check it out, AudiWestchester.com. Also, you want to really make your property look great, whether you build an in-ground pool. Look at the work that Piazza Property Pros can do to your home as well. Whether it's a little fire pit outside there, or the hot tubs, or whatever it is, the in-ground pool, the landscaping. Piazza Property Pros can take care of you. 25 years of experience. They specialize in turning your vision into a reality. And when I say 25 years of experience, they don't subcontract, so they know their stuff. Trust them. Give them a call. Check and see what they can do within your budget. 610-566-2608. That's 610-566-2608. Or check them out at piazzaoutdoor.com. The one thing that I've been lucky, I have met so many people, whether it's listeners, whether it's athletes, whether it's celebrities. Obviously Pete Rose, may he rest in peace. Two of my kids, there with Pete Rose. One of them is on the air now. He's the one there below Pete Rose. But I have met so many people. Pete Rose is just one of the people that I've met over the years. Bill Russell. It's just Bill Russell, one of the 5 greatest players in NBA history, according to Charles Barkley. I kind of have him in that range, but when you win 11 championships, you're actually doing pretty good. But got to meet Bill. Larry Bird, who I think is one of the top 6. He's ahead of LeBron James. Larry Bird is ahead of LaFraud James. But Larry Bird, because he could rebound, he could shoot. First of all, he can rebound better than LaFraud James. He can shoot better than LaFraud James. He can start the break better than LaFraud James. And I'd rather have him in the last 2 minutes of the game rather than LaFraud James. And then Walter Payton, may he rest in peace too. This was at Super Bowl 25. And it was great. And it was still 610 WIP. It was great. Walter's walking by. There was only 10 of us doing radio shows at the Super Bowl that year. Radio Row didn't exist, but there was people there. Walter's walking by. And I say, hey, Walter, can you jump on? He says, hey, yeah, no problem. Can't do that nowadays. It's so different. But it was fun. There was a lot of great things. And meeting and talking to Walter Payton, who was a wonderful guy. Again, there are so many great people that I've met. Now, Arnold Palmer, when you think of golf, I know people today think of Tiger Woods, and that's wonderful. Tiger Woods is a great, great golfer. Arnold Palmer was golf and was lucky enough to get to know him a little bit, interview him. It's just, there's really great things. 39 since, boy, think about that. 39 years ago today, doing the first sports talk show. It just, it doesn't happen nowadays. And personally, I got in touch with these people. All right, let's deal with the Eagles game coming up. I think they're going to win. I kind of agree with Mark. I wouldn't lay the 7.5. I would not lay the 7.5. I take the number. I think the Cowboys are a better team. Now, Jerry Jones spoke after he made the trade. And he was, hey, listen, I don't think Jerry Jones is doing good things for the Cowboys, but I think he made the Cowboys a better team. And Micah Parsons is a fraud. He's a fraud. Oh, it was out of my control. It was not all in my control. Well, you could have signed there for $41 million, but I don't care. And I'm glad he didn't come to the Eagles. All right, I got a couple of comments here from Jerry Jones after he made the trade.
The facts are, and we'll cover it, I'm sure, with many of your questions, but the facts are specifically we need to stop the run. And we haven't been able to stop the run at key times for several years. And when you have the kind of extraordinary pass rush that Michael had, then the way to mitigate that pass rush is to run at you. If the pass rush doesn't get you ahead pretty big time and you're playing even or behind, then you've really got a problem in stopping the run.
He's honest. They couldn't stop the run. And that's why Micah Parsons, it's great when you think you just have pass rushers. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I have another comment from Jerry Jones. Again, that's really being honest. Is Brandon ready, Joe? Okay. All right. So when Brandon's ready, we can put Brandon on. Looking at some of the comments, it's great interviewing Tony Woods, such great athletes. It is when you could just, and I almost never treated them as interviews. I treated them as conversations. Pat Milligan, who I know is a listener and a viewer of this program, congratulations on 39 years. As the parent of a child with autism, my wife and I appreciate all your charity work, continued success, health, happiness, and many years to you and your family. And Pat, you as well. And raising money for good causes is really, really important. It's important. It's part of what I try to do. And I'm going to post the pics as soon as I'm done the show. I raise money for 2 SPCAs as well, Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center with my picks. Now, this weekend, and the donations are minimal. I actually am looking for, and I thank PDQ, but PDQ is now moved on. But I'm looking for another sponsor to sponsor the page, and all that money goes to Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center. And when I put out the pics, people make donations for the pics, and all that money goes to those two SPCAs. So I'm going to post the pics as soon as I'm done the program today. And again, if people want to contribute to those animal lovers, just go to my website, howardeskin.com, and we will make you a part of the contributions. And you'll be visibly noticed by making those donations, by being a sponsor on the page. But again, a lot of legends love to see, Jeremiah. I mean, let's not forget Jeremiah. I mean, let's not forget the last time the Cowboys actually won a Super Bowl. I can't remember. And almost all the players on that team weren't even born yet. All right. Do we have Brandon on? Let's go to Brandon.
All right. Hey, how are you, man?
Good. How are you, Brandon?
Doing well, thanks. Hey, I'll go on camera for a second here. Let's see if it'll work, but neither here nor there. So,
There
Howard,
you
quick
go.
question. Hey, man. Hey, big fan of the show. First time I've actually listened all the way through, but just a quick question, Howard. Your thoughts on the tight end situation for the Eagles this year? Just like to get your pulse on that, and love to hear it.
I think they're good with Dallas Goedert, and I do like the backups. Here's where I think the Eagles have issues. They haven't settled, and they in their minds have settled it, but it's still if they're still thinking about it in their minds, they have settled it. But the reality is, I'm not in love with the secondary. I love Quinyon Mitchell. I love Cooper DeJean, but you got to have other guys out there. So they need the pass rush. Nolan Smith, who I think works his ass off, is a good player if he stays healthy. So you got an edge rusher there. So you're worried about the edge rushers. Zach Bond, is he going to have the same year? I think Zach Bond's obviously a very good player. Is he going to have the same year? What's your linebacker situation going to be like? On the defensive line, obviously Jalen Carden and Jordan Davis, really good. And they'll mix in some other players. But I worry about their secondary. I really worry about their secondary. And they didn't have injuries last year. So you got to worry about that. But I'm good with the tight end situation.
Good.
Offensively, they look fine. The quarterback, as long as Saquon Barkley can run, he's not going to get 2,000 yards. As long as he can run the ball, as long as the offensive line stays healthy, as long as your wide receivers stay healthy, and Dotson looks like he's going to be a good third wide receiver, I think they're fine. I think they're fine. However, it is really, really, really difficult to get back. It's difficult to get to the Super Bowl, let alone get back to the Super Bowl. So, but anyway,
I've heard you say that years past, Howard. So I know your opinion.
Okay,
on that
so
one.
let me ask you about, since it's the 39th anniversary, what do you like or not like, the good and the not so good about what Sports Talk Radio has become these days?
It's a little too poppy for me, Howard. I still dial in. It's a little too pop culture. I like it. I get a kick out of it every once in a while, but that's something I don't necessarily love as much. I still like listening to some of the late night stuff. I like, because it's a little more tactical in the sports overall. That would be what I would say.
Well, the thing is, now there was an article written and it said there's too many commercials. See, and now their business model can't support what radio is anymore. So they have to run all those commercials. How does that drive you crazy? Every 10 minutes, it seems like there's, 4 or 5 minutes of commercials.
Well, Howard, I'll go next step. I'm a finance guy. I follow I'm very active in the stock market. I follow equities really closely. I see what a lot of these public companies, like your former company, how challenged the equities have been. They just can't get the revenue up to listen to terrestrial radio. So it's ventures like this that make a lot more sense for connecting with
Well,
the public.
so you probably know that Odyssey went from what, $3 to $4 a share to what, 10 cents a share? Are they even on the exchange anymore?
I have to go back and check. I thought they restructured, but
Well,
I
yeah,
was watching them
they
for a while.
sold. Well, they sold 51% of the company because they went into bankruptcy at one point. That doesn't help your stock.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sold 51% of the company. So the owner, who was the CEO, the day after it was approved by the FCC, was fired. He said he resigned. He was fired as the CEO, and then they fired like 400 people from that point from the company throughout the country. It's sad what that company has become. It really is sad.
Think about Howard. Think about that in broadcasting. Even Sirius Radio is having their challenges right now. And think about network broadcasts. If you look at the prime stations, they're struggling too.
Yep, exactly right. Hey, Brandon, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks,
Thank
Howard.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, let me play. Jerry Jones made another comment, and again, the guy's honest. Let's hear another comment from Jerry Jones after the Micah Parsons trade.
We are doing what I've said many times, that if you are the one that owns, and when you look in the mirror, you've got to change. And so that this was a very deliberate, as it played out, reflection on a key player that could bring us a lot of consideration now, and the player that we got that can help us stop the run, and a lot of consideration in the future, a lot of capital that is required to build a team. It takes many players to be tried to play in the NFL. It takes 11 on the field at the same time. It takes a minimum of 30 or 40 at minimum to have both defense and offense, not including players that are involved in our special teams. So it takes more than one.
Yeah, it sure does. Let me read some of the comments. I still listen to WIP, but it's definitely different. 610 WIP is just that was gold. That was gold. Chris said, "Love the Rowdy Roddy Piper interview." It's amazing. We didn't have cameras on our phones then. He choked me actually because I asked him why wrestling is fake. But again, 39 years. 39 years. I haven't talked about the Phillies. Here's who the Phillies are. They score 19 runs, and that's great. Schwarber's the best player in the team, and I don't think anybody questions that now. But I don't know how they're going to be able to sign him. That's going to be an issue. But they'll go out and sign somebody else. But they have some bad contracts now. They have some bad contracts. And can somebody tell me why Bryce Harper was wearing cleats with Mets colors on it when they played in New York? I haven't spoken since then. I don't believe I've spoken since then. He was wearing Mets, the blue and the orange cleats. Cleats, baseball shoes, we call them cleats. They're probably not cleats on the bottom of them anymore, but he may because he plays first base. But why? Like, what was that all about? I mean, come on, man. You can't. If you're trying to get attention, there's other ways to get attention. How about driving in 100 runs? How about not striking out as much? How about putting the ball in play more? How about hitting more than 260 something? That's it's just it's really kind of it's disappointing that that's the way you need to get attention. Are you kidding me? And he should have been ripped more by the local media, but they're afraid to rip Bryce Harper. And you don't have to rip him, just criticize him for it. I'm criticizing him for it. It shouldn't. Hey, listen, Bryce Harper was an exciting player to come to the Phillies, but he's not the same player now that he was then. So do you need that to get attention? I see JC Sports, Bryce who? He's not the same player. By the way, I've been told that the Odyssey stock is now 16 cents. 16 cents. That's why they stuff all these shows with too many commercials. It's It's annoying. You can be better radio, but they. I don't know that the advertisers get what they pay for anymore. But that's where podcasts. That's where podcasts work, and I try not to have too many partners or advertisers or sponsors. I limit it. I maybe can take one or two more, but it doesn't matter to me if I take one or two more. What matters to me right now is that you are interested in the show, you listen to the show, and you enjoy the show, and that's all part of it. And that's where Stillwell Financial Advisors comes in, and they're really great to be a part of it. 732-343-0813, Jeff Stillwell. That's where Audi Westchester is really important to the show. They got a deal going on right now, and that's where Piazza Property Pros is really really a part of the show. I see, and thanks to those people, I see Chris Freed. Odyssey stock was delisted. Shares are zero. Shareholders were wiped out in the bankruptcy. Oh, I wasn't sure whether they were delisted or not delisted. Um, um, oh yeah. So, all right. Let's get to our winner. Our winner last week of the Charles Barkley autographed courtside magazine. And the question was, and it could have been two answers because it was either uh, the the finger, the chicken finger game or a Thanksgiving game. Chicken finger game was in 2013, and the Thanksgiving game that Mark Sanchez played in, and they smoked the Cowboys in Dallas, was in 2014. The first one that he thought of could have been either one. So I opened it up. All those people qualified. Uh, Podrick Johnson, who is the winner of the Charles Barkley autographed courtside magazine. And also, by you listening through the show, you can be a part of the show, and you can also win on the show. And this week, I want to give away a pair of Oakley sunglasses. Again, listen. All you do is listen to the show, and we'll announce the winner on Wednesday. Here's the question. Tell me how Jerry Jones couched the trade of Micah Parsons. Tell me how he couched the trade. So either that could be the question, or I'm going to give you a second option. What did I say about Micah Parsons? What did I say in the reason I called him a fraud? Now, do you have to have a little bit of thought here? And these are Oakley sunglasses. Hey, listen, whether you win a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate, whether you win a Charles Barkley autograph, or you win the Oakley sunglasses. So submit your answer to my website, howardeskin.com, by midnight Tuesday, September 2nd, on this holiday weekend. Hopefully everybody has a good and safe holiday. And on Wednesday, September 3rd, 7:30, as we're live on X, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube and you'll be notified as soon as I go live with the shows. Winner will be randomly chosen from all the correct entries. And thanks for being a part of the 39th anniversary. Hopefully you have a great holiday weekend. It's the last big weekend for vacations for people, and hopefully you enjoy it and safe. Let me get through a couple of more comments. Chris says they need to trade Casti to save money for Schwarber. Hey, trading Casti isn't going to save, because nobody's going to take on all his contract. That's a problem. And somebody said, what did I think of Kyle Schwarber hitting 4 home runs in a game? I thought it's great. I thought it was great. However, Atlanta is such a, how did they become? Well, they lost a lot of pitching. The pitcher they faced, they left their starting pitcher in because they're short on pitching. They left, and although the Phillies only scored 2 runs in the second game of the series. The pitching is awful, and he had really, really, really great pitches to hit, but he still has to hit 4 home runs. I don't compare it to Mike Schmidt's 4 home runs because the ball's wasn't juiced back then. The bats weren't as hard back then. But Kyle Schwarber is going to get a lot of money this offseason. He's going to get a lot of money, and I don't know that the Phillies are going to be able to sign him. Herb Purple, I haven't listened to WIP since you left. I only listened because you were there. I respect your opinions. You always went to sports events. Does anybody, I lost the, people are chiming in with their comments now. Let me see. Does anybody else that works at WIP really go to the games? Keep up the great work you do. Enjoy your weekend. I don't want to out them, but most of the people don't go to the games. So, but that's part of the fun. Again, thanks for all the people, Ron. Thanks for your comment. Great. Congratulations on 39 great years. Yeah. Even though I'm not there anymore, and it was 610 WIP when it was really great. 25 years. I worked there 25 years. It was 610 in afternoons. 25 years. It was 610 WIP. And I had fun. And I had fun in other days, but it's just not the same. And again, thanks to everybody. And over my 39 years, meeting all the people that I've met, whether it's listeners, whether it's the athletes, whether it's the celebrities. Proud to say that both Will Smith, who came up to me and introduced himself to me, he was a listener of the show. It's just whenever he sees me, he always makes sure he says hello. And I see him occasionally. Bradley Cooper, whenever I see him, he was a listener of the show. But which means there are people out there, and you are some of those people out there. And I thank you so much for being a part of the Howard Eskin Show. Richard, you come in at the last minute, Richard, but you got to come in earlier. I see Richard Blaine. If we can do it real quick, Joe, if we do have audio. We don't have audio. You got to make sure that the microphone is not crossed out, and the camera you can cross out, but not there's a microphone at the bottom of the screen. Don't have it crossed out, because if we can't hear you, what good is it? But thanks to everybody. We'll be back. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll be back on Wednesday night. We'll talk more about the Eagles game on Wednesday night when we do the show. And thanks for joining the Howard Eskin Show. And thanks to Joe Gangemi for helping produce this. And thanks for the person that kind of works behind the scenes, Tony Anastasia, putting all the graphics and all the good things together too. Thanks to everybody. Have a great weekend.